Welcome back. I'm still with royal commentator, LA-based Kinsey Schofield, in a city that right now is suffering destruction on an epic scale. I've just seen, Kinsey, a picture of an overhead of the Palisades, the Pacific Palisades. Lovely area, full of celebrities, multi-million-dollar. It's gone. It's just gone. It's been, the whole area has been burnt to the ground. I cannot believe it. And these are areas, obviously, I know well. I can barely recognise them. But let's get back to Harry and Meghan, or more particularly Meghan. She's had a busy week. Now, you and I discussed a couple of times this week already the fact that January the 15th, is that next Wednesday, something like that? When is that? January the...
Yes, Wednesday. You and I have a date. We've got to talk.
Absolutely. So January the 15th, next Wednesday, that is D-Day. That is the day on which the rest of Meghan's life will hinge, because it's as important as that. That is when With Love Meghan, her lifestyle cooking show, hits Netflix and is available for viewing. It's an 8-part series. It's made at her home. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't made at her home. She was made at a rented home where she bakes cakes for her friends, puts...
Hey, Kev, if she won't even let Netflix in her house, why would she let anybody else in her house?
Absolutely. So she's sort of picking flowers and telling us how to freeze edible flowers into ice cubes, making little edible ladybirds, pouring olive oil into hummus, making something pretty ordinary into something, elevating it, and so on and so forth. Laughing, frolicking with her friends. You and I spoke the other day about the appalling timing of the release of this happy, snappy, sunshiny trailer, which was the day after the New Orleans terrorist atrocity that shocked America, shocked the rest of the world as well. So they should have left it. They should not have put that out then. But the whole series seems to me to be light, trite, pointless and based on nothing. You know, who the hell does she think she is to say, hey, I'm the lifestyle queen, I'm the domestic goddess? Who said you are? You know, you're obviously quite a good amateur cook. You know, I'm not a bad amateur cook. Doesn't give me the right to make a series telling you how to live your lives. It's full of all her rich white celebrity friends, all prancing around in expensive designer outfits and their expensive jewellery. I think we've seen the comments already on the Netflix online site. I mean, people are actually offended by this. So I think it's going to fail. I think it's going to fail badly. And she hopes it will succeed because she wants to relaunch American Riviera Orchard on the back of it. So next Wednesday, if this series doesn't work, I mean, all of her plans come crashing down, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. She's lighting some candles. She is, you know, God knows what she's doing over in Montecito right now, trying to, on her knees, praying to God that all goes well on Wednesday and that somebody will say something nice about her. Did you see the article from BET about how white women are so jealous of her success? I thought, oh my God, if this is her PR pursuing these kinds of pieces, what are you doing? You are alienating.
She said that. She said that.
No. Meghan didn't say it. It was in a piece from BET about how white women are just envious of Meghan Markle's success. But you know, you can't alienate your audience. She is supposed to be welcoming to everybody. I would push back on those stories. I wouldn't want anything to do with that kind of narrative, because you could seriously alienate a huge chunk of your audience that way. But yeah, I mean, I just think that if this doesn't work, Kevin, where does she go? Because we know that the Lemonada podcast does not even remotely compare monetarily to the Spotify agreement that was terminated because Spotify was unhappy with what they received in return for that for that money.
Archetypes was DULLSVILLE, 12 episodes of sheer tedium. Unfortunately, she's going to unleash another series of Archetypes, as you say, via Lemonada. Let's get back to that in a second, but let's talk now. Well, actually, I think let's just remind ourselves of this trailer that was released on a very inappropriate day, one day after the New Orleans atrocity. So let's remind ourselves of the trailer.
Let's make a show.
Let's go. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. Surprising people with moments that let them know I was really thinking of them.
What? This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
It's magic.
I'm gonna share some little tips and tricks. I see what color I gravitate to, and everything goes from there. And how you can incorporate these practices every day. That's what you want. You want that shape and texture. Come on. This is about connecting with friends. I love that we're doing this together for the first time. Making new friends. That is so good.
We're family now.
And just learning. Look at how much honey we have.
Do you believe in magic?
We're not in the pursuit of perfection. Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love is in the details.
I have to do it totally wrong
To get it totally right. Look at what we made. Guy snoring. Peaceful day.
Sorry, I was just being sick there. But I want to actually say something seriously, Kinsey. Guy, her beloved dog there, has subsequently died, and for that, she has my full sympathy. Very sad. So that's a dog she's had for a long time and has died in the last week or so. So,
well, I'll be the jerk here. I'll be the cynical one. We don't know when Guy died, and perhaps that post was, just an effort to change the conversation because she's been absolutely destroyed over that trailer. The feedback for her, just the trailer alone has been incredibly negative. And guess what? It changed the conversation. Now everybody was talking about Archie and Lily's voices on her, Meghan's latest Instagram post. I'll be the cynical one. I'll be the jerk. But let me tell you this.
I thought I was cynical. You knocked me into a cocked hat there. I
don't drink alcohol, and I'm telling you, I might have to drink alcohol on Wednesday to get through that.
Yeah, I've been trying not to, but I think next Wednesday I'll probably down about at least a bottle of scotch to get through that episode. Now, the point is, again, another issue that you and I have discussed. I know something about television, and I know something about movies, about how, what makes them work. It's quite simple. You just don't bore the audience. Make sure that your production, be it TV, be it drama, be it a movie, is not boring. Now, frankly, a bunch of, rich, white Californian girls running around going, hey, lovely, oh, hummus, oh, you put some on. That's boring. It's boring. Oh, look, here I am picking petals. Now, if the public, incredibly, decide that they might be able to get by without Meghan's advice on how to freeze edible flowers into ice cubes, then this show flops, and so does Meghan. I think if this show flops, obviously American Riviera Orchard will be in big trouble, and her entire future will be under a cloud. She'll have to work out what to do. So it's an 8-part series. As I say, based on artifice, based on deception. Oh, look at me in my home. It's not your home. You rented it to film. So I think that was a big mistake. Harry crops up now and again, old ginger nuts. But this series seems to me to be very boring. It seems to me to be based on a woman saying, hey, look, I've got all these lifestyle tips. Yeah, so what? Who are you? You know, who are
Kevin,
you?
Kevin, this show is 20 years old. Today, content it's pouring out of our fingers, literally. And we are seeking authenticity because it's out there. It's on YouTube. It's on TikTok. We're desperate for people that are sincere and authentic. This is a 20-year-old show. You could have gotten away with something as highly produced as this is 20 years ago, as boring as this is 20 years ago. But today, we have Pinterest. Everything on that trailer I've seen on Pinterest. We have people that are authentic on TikTok, actually in the kitchen, actually in their own kitchen with their kids screaming in the background. That is what people have become accustomed to. That's what people are pursuing. And there's nothing that trailer was magic. There's nothing about Meghan that is authentic, and people are going to reject the idea that a woman that has spent 4 years tearing down the monarchy, complaining, is now trying to become the face of joy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and she tries to be so cutesy. Oh, I love to surprise my friends with how much I've been thinking of them. Then there's a picture with Harry, one big happy family, apart from her family. Her poor father, her ailing 80-year-old dad, her half-brother, her half-sister, who she has ruthlessly cut out of her life because she doesn't approve of the way they behave. Their behaviour is not met with her regal approval. So they're gone. So this cutesy, oh, aren't I lovely, aren't I friendly, aren't I wonderful, doesn't really play out in real life if you examine her existence, her privileged existence. So I think this series sounds to me to be very, very boring, therefore will not work. As you say, it's an old-fashioned idea, it's derivative, there's no basis for her doing it. She's not Martha Stewart, she's not Nigella Lawson, she's just some woman in California who says, oh, I'm quite a good cook. We're not looking
that married a guy, that married a famous guy.
Yeah, that married a famous guy. You cannot marry into stardom. You just cannot make yourself a celebrity by marriage. You have to have star quality, and that's what I think she doesn't have. Well, let's move on now to, my feeling is, why doesn't this woman leave us alone? I mean, we're still trying to recover from the tedium of the first series of Archetypes. Now she's going to give us another one. What can we do to persuade her not to, Kinsey?
I don't know. I have heard through my contacts that the king is like, you know what, that would be the best thing in the world if her cooking show was a success. You know why? She'd lay off him. She'd lay off his family. He feels like a lot of their bitterness stems from the fact that they have not been able to achieve much since they stepped aside from the royal family, and achieving any of their goals might give them the positivity to lay off the royal family, I guess, the positive energy to do that. When it comes to podcasting, Kevin, these are the pursuits. These were her dreams before she met Prince Harry. She walked away from being a duchess and actually doing things that really changed the world within the royal fold to being a podcast host and being a talk show host. And these are both things that she was doing a cooking show host. These are both things that she was pitching prior to marrying Prince Harry. Her dreams are coming true. Are his?
Yeah, but, don't forget that both these two, when they got married and they moved to California, they were going to change the world. The Archwell Foundation. We're going to make a world a better place. We're going to help people. We're going to run charities. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to really, really be massive philanthropists around the planet. And it's all boiled down to none of that has come off. But she's baking cakes for a TV show. That's what her life has come down to. And
asking Mariah Carey if she minds being called a diva on the podcast that she said was going to be all about people that were making positive change in their communities. Mariah Carey? Diva?
And then Mariah Carey said, well, you're a bit of a diva yourself, and she got all offended, didn't she? And it was when I listened to that series, the Archetypes series, that's when I realised This woman, Meghan, she's got no idea. She has no notion of what is tedious. She thinks signalling her virtue and, you know, her wonder and smiling and grinning, you know, while talking to famous people about virtuous topics is entertaining. Well, I got bad news for her. It's not. So that series was a disaster. It got her sacked, basically, by Spotify. The next series I can't see will be any better. And as for With Love, Meghan, I mean, good luck with that, Meghan. You're going to need it.
Yeah, no, you're right. The problem with Meghan is that she doesn't listen to these people that have established, you know, records, successful records when it comes to the industries she's trying to pursue. She had no record of being a successful podcaster. She had 17 different producers on the original Archetypes season, and Spotify still turned her away because she refused to listen to their guidance, and she refused to engage in some of their, you know, their creative ideas, how they felt like they could make her a success, because she was just very stubborn and wanted things her way. And I think we've seen similar issues with Netflix. That is why I'm very curious to see what the results are of this program. And if this program is a flop, I would say it's likely because Meghan's fingerprints are all over it, because she was bound and determined to be in control of this project too, and didn't listen to the advice around her from people that have proven track records.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he doesn't seem to be doing anything. And by the way, his Netflix series Polo, about that Chinless Wonders horse sport, was released early in December. I mean, it sank without trace almost instantly. Absolute disastrous turkey, bombed completely. And I've got a feeling that With Love, Meghan will go in exactly the same direction. I mean, I genuinely wish her all the best, but I don't think she's got a chance with this. And then what does she do? I don't know what he's doing anymore. I don't know what she's doing anymore. But we'll keep a watch on them, shall we, Kinsey? What do you reckon?
Yeah, cheers on Wednesday. Virtual cheers.
Yeah. Let's we'll chat next week, and we'll both watch Wednesday's episode and have a chat about that soon afterwards. Kinsey, listen, stay safe in LA there, and thank you so much for another fantastic contribution to this show. Kinsey Schofield there over there in Los Angeles.